Hi guys, welcome back to another Matchbox Garage video. I'm Rob, and today we're going to attempt to not actually take this car from shabby to shiny, because it appears that I have taken a video of the wrong car, but it is this car but in worse condition. It's actually from this car that I borrowed the windscreen. But this is the car that we will be restoring today, or custom restore. So this one's in certainly worse shape than the one on the old turny roundy thing. So you can see here I've not yet actually taken out the rivet. A little bit different this video. I want to kind of bring you along really to, you know, how I do it, how long it takes. So as you can see, I'm going to be using my very handy vise. And the first drill bit here, just to drill down the centre of the post. I'll leave probably a centimetre. Which is about, what, ½ an inch, kind of sticking out. Obviously kind of with my eye, just to see how far I need to actually drill down. And that's drilled down. So I'll switch out the drill bit there for the larger piece. And then this just takes off. Well, removes the flange. And then you can see the kind of circular motion that I do there. I think it's probably because I could do with a slightly larger drill bit. Here is my lubrication. Remember, always lubricate the hole before tapping it. And you can see there, just with that probably quarter of a turn, it had already started to take a bite, and basically my tap there stood up all on its own. So with a slight kind of push on the tap, not too much, and just obviously gently put it in home, clean off the end of your tap. You don't want to leave it dirty after tapping the hole. And then we'll take one of my screws here for a trial fit. And it's as quick and easy as that. So there it is, the screw in place. So we'll start to take it apart as usual and figure out what we're actually playing with. So that rear wheel somehow made its way out of the kind of suspension holder on the back there. And then the easiest way to remove these, they just pop straight out like that. Kind of go under and over, and then flick them out. But underneath here it reads, Made in England, Lesney Products and Co. Limited, 1969, Matchbox Series number 20, Lamborghini Marzal. And I must admit, hasn't really been one of my favourite castings, this one. I think mainly because I just never had a glass that actually, you know, was intact. But obviously you see in the original video, and actually from my, where did I go? Enfield Pageant of Motoring over the weekend. You would have seen in that video this car that I got. Here's a set of wheels that's going to go on it, and you can see even down to the detail of the tyres. I'll link the eBay channel in the description below if you want to buy some of them wheels yourself. The interior here, covered in years full of dust and dirt and grime. And then the casting. So this casting will be in the thumbnail, but unfortunately it seems I took the kind of turny roundy footage of another car. The other car was in much better condition, but that just wouldn't have been as fun or as interesting to custom restore. Now, I've repaired some cars in the past, and there's been a few people, I don't want to say complain, but kind of said, you know, the actual repair of the bent pieces, you know, may have done off camera, and then just show them once they're done. So I thought, okay, let's do one on camera, and I must admit it's very difficult to bend this metal whilst looking through the lens of a camera. Not only looking through the lens of the camera, but trying to make sure that you're holding the casting at, you know, a good distance for obviously camera as well. Now, I confess, I'm certainly not a professional when it comes to this. I don't know what the kind of best way or right way is. I just figure out a way that works for me. And on this casting there was a couple of little bent bits, and all of them went back fine. This one was being, I don't know, being a little bit of a pain, and I kind of moved it up, then down, then in, then out. I gave up a little bit shortly, but later on I did straighten it out, and actually as I look at the casting now, I'd like to think it's a good 90% perfect. I'm not even convinced that from the factory it was 100%. So you can kind of see down the sides what I've been trying to do is trying to get it straight, trying to get it flat, trying to get it into a position where I'm happy to proceed. And at this point I was happy enough. So popped it into some boiling water and a few teaspoons of caustic soda. You can already see there, kind of floating around, certainly in the top now, that paint was coming off straight away. And then just a few minutes later, it's come off. I've washed it, and I've given it a buff up with my Dremel tool, which usually I again have some kind of footage with, but don't seem to have that today. But what I do is give this a bit of a buff up now, and look at the difference this my fake Dremel with real Dremel steel wire end does. It really makes this look brand new. I think you'll agree, shiny shiny, and you can certainly read it much better now. Lovely detail actually in the front and rear of this casting. And let's get some Tamiya Fine surface primer. in white. Now, I've done a bit of Google research. I was going to go to the community tab. Kind of backfired a little bit on the previous car I'd done, the Maserati. Most people voted for green, and yeah, a lot of people dislike that colour, which was a shame. I think it's really good, and I guess that's all that matters. But I thought I'd done so. Instead of asking the community this time, I went to Google, and basically this was a concept car, and seemingly it come in two different colours, silver and white. And after I put that primer on, I thought it looked great in white, so white it is going to be. I confess that I couldn't really see where the white needed to go, so I couldn't really see what needed to be covered from the primer. But this was just one coat, and I probably put 4 or 5 coats of this white stuff on, and from all angles I certainly didn't miss anything, so it's got a good coverage. So here's now the plastics going into a warm soapy bath, and then the windscreen will get a little splash of that pledge there, and sped up to 1,000,000 miles per hour. Just putting on some of this brown paint on the interior. So everything's now dry. I've added a little bit of light detail on the front, light detail and registration on the back. Glass is now dry and clean. The aftermarket wheels, the interior is nice and dry, and now the body's nice and dry. So I'll put this together off camera, but as a little reminder of what this one actually did look like, and the result. Another one that I really like. I hope you guys like it. Nice detail around the back there. I like these wheels. I think they suit it. They kind of, certainly bring it up to the 21st century, really. But certainly let me know what you think of it in the comment section. I know you will do anyway. But anyway, thanks to my Patreons, including new Patreon, Bjorn Edvardsen. So thank you, sir. And thank you everybody else for watching. Hopefully you'll stick around for the next one.